I went on the dark web and now I am afraid for my life. So this all started last night. It's one of those today I fucked up kinda moments. One of my friends is into hacking and shit and said he could easily hook up the onion links and whatnot to get me on there. He came over yesterday and set it all up. I'm no whiz at computers, so I can't give you the specifics or shit. Anyways, later that night, I started the Tor tool and began going at it. I found a few forums and began poking around. There was this neat little chill to being on the dark web, like sneaking downstairs to play video games when you were young. There's all this shit going on in there. The drug deals were the easiest to find, weed and LSD everywhere. After a while of feeling my way around the dark web, I got into a gang site. I saw they were selling guns and one guy was trying to hire an assassin to kill someone. Honestly, I didn't think the dark web had that stuff. Thought it was all a myth. Yes, the guns were cheap. I saw someone explain on Reddit once that if the guns are cheap, it's likely because they weren't clean nice. At this point, I'm a few hours into the dark web. I've seen some criminal shit and all that, but nothing you can't find on the strange parts of Reddit. Then all of a sudden I clicked on this one dude's username. I hadn't tried that yet. Well, that took me to the child porn forum. Really didn't see it coming. I mean, the shit I saw on there was, I almost puked. There was that moment when my stomach just sank. It was the kind of shit you'd see on CSI or NCIS, but not censored and right in front of me. I noped out of there after my eye caught a glimpse of the first pic. I figured I'd stay on for a few more minutes and then delete this whole Tor thing. I really didn't want to go back to the dark web. It's like walking through those haunted houses, once and done kind of thing. My heart was racing. I was back on the assassination forum, just frozen in front of my screen. I finally got myself collected and was about to turn Tor off when I looked over at the bottom right of my screen. Someone had sent me a message. The message read, "Listen, you're clearly new here. Learn how to protect yourself next time. It's clear you're here just to snoop. That's a bad idea on these forums. That makes you SUS. Get out of here, kiddo. We know where you are." It fucking hit me like a Mack truck. I never rerouted my IP or set up the VPN. I just opened Tor and went at it. I was sweating like a goddamn hog. I called up my friend and told him what happened. He told me to unplug my shit and pray. I had been on child porn sites and assassination sites. What the actual fuck was I thinking getting on this site? Whatever the hell the dark web fucking is. So I unplugged my computer immediately. I also unplugged my router. My phone has 3G, but it'll be fine for one night. But that dude had said he knew where I was. I was on there for hours. Any one of those guys could have figured it out. The gangs, the assassins, the fucking pedos. I have no idea if anyone knew anything. It was midnight, and the stress and sweat made me fucking tired. I wanted to go back on the internet to rub one out and calm myself the fuck down, but 3G is too damn slow for porn. I say fuck it, and I just try and sleep. But for some fucking reason, it was the noisiest night in existence. Not that it was actually noisy, but my ears heard everything. I could barely sleep. I have this old door at the front of my house that opens with the slightest wind. Here I am up at 2 in the morning, just beginning to drift to sleep and then slam. The door opens and closes as loud as it can. I jolt up thinking it's them. I don't know which them. The police, the assassins, or the fucking Holy Spirit. I build up the courage to look out the window and it's just the door. I hate you, you fucking door, but I was actually quite happy it was just the fucking door. Every time that damn door does that, my brain goes from its rational self to believing in monsters in the closet all over again. It's funny the way the brain works. So cocky and sure of itself until fear tells it who is boss, and then the brain will believe anything. Well, now I'm really awake and the door keeps opening and closing, so I go and make a small sandwich. It's unhealthy as fuck, but who the hell cares? I'm stressed so bad I'm giving myself a headache. like a nail going right in through my eyeballs kind of pain. I go into the kitchen to get the peanut butter, and I hear the rustling of leaves. I freak out again. I'm already on the edge, you know. I take a breath and think like a human for a second and look at my dog. Dogs are the best for exactly this kind of shit. She's sound asleep knowing, well, it was just a branch that fell in the wind. Her calmness and snoring reminds me to go the fuck to sleep. I finish the sandwich and finally get some shut-eye. I woke up this morning feeling pretty good. A good sleep is great for forgetting all the stupid shit you do. The sun was that nice golden color and the trees were particularly green. Astrid was barking up a storm and needed to go out. I let her out and she whizzes, reminding me that I need to piss too. I get all my shit together for breakfast, and I'm cleaning up the mess I made with that PB and J last night when I look out the window and see a cop car on the other side of the street. Not the normal cop car, the undercover one. That's it. They must have found me out, they know. Why the hell else would they be there? I couldn't see the cop. The windows were tinted. I was sure as hell that was an undercover cop. I've seen plenty of them. I decided there's nothing much else to do but eat breakfast and go to work, and just hope that cop is here for someone else. In the time it takes me to get ready in the morning, I figured, for some reason, the cop would be done investigating. I hoped it was the new family across the street. It seems they may be hosting a brothel, cars coming and going at all times of the night. I open the front door and the cop car is right where it was. I try not to look at it. I don't want to stir up any suspicion, you know. I walk by it trying to act all normal. I turn the corner, go up half a block and look quickly behind me. The cop car is still there. I go up a few more blocks. The cop car still hasn't moved. Finally, after what felt like a 2-hour-long walk, I made it to the train station. I was basically drenched in sweat. It wasn't even that hot of a day. I'm on the train and my friend texts me a site. He says, if your email is compromised, it'll tell you. I click on it and put in my email address. It doesn't ask for anything more, so I figure it's likely safe. You can also find it via Google, so I'm not paranoid and use it. It says, OHNO pond. My head is racing at this point and I mutter under my breath, what the fuck does pond mean? At this point, I'm in no fucking mood to figure shit out. I Google it. Apparently it means they know my email password. Oh great. Oh fan-fucking-tastic. I immediately try to change my password, but of course the internet connection on the train is so shitty I can't change it. I get to work and the first thing I do is go on my laptop and change my password. Great. That's taken care of. Temporary relief. I feel better knowing that I was compromised and fixed it before anyone did anything. I'm not sure what else they might know, so I'm probably going to need a new credit card. That reminds me I cashed checks yesterday afternoon. I wanted to check they went through. I opened the app and the checks were cashed, but $200 went to Amazon.com about 30 minutes ago. I didn't fucking buy anything from Amazon while I was commuting. What the fuck? I race to my Gmail, right when one of my bosses comes over for small talk. In my head, I'm like, not now, dumbass. I don't have time to kiss your ass today. Finally, dumbass leaves, and I open my Gmail, and yep, there's an email from Amazon. I opened it, hoping my card got compromised for something stupid. Tell me this. Why the hell would someone buy $200 of a shovel, crowbar knife, paracord, canned food, and baby diapers? Yeah, baby diapers. The rest of it looks like an average Joe wanted to go hiking, except for the shovel and baby diapers. Well, now I feel like I'm drowning, like air cannot get to my lungs. There's no blood, I've gone fucking cold. My brain feels like it's swelling and repeating the same line over and over again. What do I do now? So then I go and check the address. Maybe pedo guy changed it. Nope, it's my address. I call my dumbass boss on the phone. Oh, hi Jack, I don't need the scans right and dash. No, Mr. Smith, I'm sick like a dog. I think I need to go home. He comes over to check on me and personally see me out. He says to get better. He's genuinely a nice guy, but goddamn stupid. I then proceed to race home like lightning. I get home at about 3 p.m. The cop car is gone, there are no packages on my front doorstep, and I can hear Astrid barking. All seems to be okay as of now. Thank God. I feel genuine relief. For some reason I thought maybe the package was going to be delivered today, and that they were going to kill Astrid. Inside seems fine, nothing out of the ordinary until I get to my computer room. Then, I notice the window is wide open, but the screen is down. Now, here's the thing, even if I can't recall if I left the window open, I know for sure the screen was up. It's been like that for a while. Yet again, temporary relief is cut off by a feeling of dread. I sit on my porch, no internet, no phone, scared out of my mind, watching the sunset and just listening. I live in the suburbs of a major city. There are lots of noises, but the ear is damn good at knowing what to hear when you need it to, or at least I hope it is. I watched the sunset, all its brilliant colors. The yellows change to reds dancing on the clouds to be overcome by a deep purple, and then night falls, and just the street lamps give light. My house is on the corner and the street lamp is blocked by a tree, so it doesn't help as much as you'd think. I go get Astrid to go outside one more time before bed, and as I'm inside I hear a bang. It clearly sounded like it was from the garage. Astrid starts barking something fierce. She's a husky, and I've never heard her bark like this before. My gut tells me it's something bad. Always listen to your damn gut, my dad always said. So I go back inside and I'm asking all you computer whiz people for help. Have any of you made this kind of mistake? What the fuck do? I honestly can't even describe this feeling. I'm just fucking scared, guys. My friend fucking abandoned me and told me not to contact him. Like, fuck him. I have my flashlight with me and I'm about to go out and check the bang. Wish me luck. Part 2. Okay guys, sorry I haven't updated this. It's been some crazy few days. The 3G internet takes a while to post, so I have to choose wisely when I post. Alright, let's start with what happened last night. So I go outside with the flashlight and Astrid and I hear rustling in the leaves. Astrid is on edge at this point, so she is barking at it wildly. I likely woke my neighborhood up. Don't really care at this point. I get into the garage and thankfully no one is there. Part of me wondered if those horror movie things were true and someone would just be standing in my garage or some shit. Then I realized the blood on the floor. Little droplets and splashes led a path to a broken chair. The leg was snapped and there was a good deal of blood on the chair. I sent some pictures with the post, hoping it sends with this 3G bullshit. Astrid was smelling the blood. Good girl. Perhaps she can smell the guy and then we can catch him, or something along those lines. But nothing. She lifted her nose into the air and just did nothing. Great. My husky is as perceptive as a bunny rabbit. My heart was racing so fucking hard, I actually had to take a breather. I just looked away from it all for 1 second. But my mind wouldn't stop racing. Even when I tried to calm down, it immediately went to the thought of how everything changed in 24 hours. Life takes unexpected turns. I knew that. At this point, I figured the police would understand. I had an intruder. It was time to call the cops. I never did anything with ill intentions, and now I was scared someone was trying to kill me. I kept Astrid close by. My ears were going wild. At one point, a leaf fell, and my neck swung around to watch a fucking leaf fall. I text my friend to question him about the legality of going on the dark web, just to be sure. Of course, he is still not fucking responding. At this point, I call 911 anyway and explain to them that I've had an intruder and that there is blood and so forth. The police come and I'm super fucking anxious. But I don't see how this could lead to questions about the dark web thing, so I just keep telling that to myself in my head. I swear to fucking God, I knew I couldn't slip that out. Well, they come and see the blood, and the cop is like, shitty intruder. I mean, I guess he was right, but still an intruder. Then his partner calls us over, and guess what he fucking found? A lens cap, like a camera or something. It wasn't in the garage. It was just outside my house in the bushes. The one cop looks at me and is like, "You got a spy on your hands." Like, holy shit, what? So then I asked them to take samples of blood and do the testing to figure out who it was. The older cop looks at me and goes, "We're not forensics, and no one died." I muttered under my breath, "Yet." The coppers then leave having done nothing but point out the lens cap and tell me there's nothing they can do. They told me to get security cameras and wait for the intruder to come back. Security cameras sound nice and all, but I've seen on the dark web they had like a whole sharing site for that shit, and I can't hook anything up to the internet for now, so that's a no right there. I went back into my house and took some Tylenol. I just wanted my brain to stop screaming at me at this point. It was after all this I finally checked your posts. I saw one of you said to stop the package deliver. Fucking brilliant. How the fuck did I not think of that? It's amazing how I can't think straight with this stress. Like, oh, someone bought some packages? Perhaps cancel it, dumbass. Jesus, what's wrong with me? I did it immediately. The packages hadn't even shipped yet. Bless. I saved at least that part. Now to handle the fucking intruder. To make sure the dumbass door didn't scare the shit out of me tonight, I got a rubber band and tied it to the handle. Fuck you, stupid door, you ain't opening tonight. Tylenol wasn't doing shit, so I took some Advil, the nighttime one. I had no beer, so this is all I had. I finally fell asleep and made sure Astrid was right near me, just in case she smelled or heard anything. I woke up yesterday morning contemplating if I should go to work. I think one of you said to just take a sick day. That makes sense. The boss knew I didn't feel well yesterday, so he'd be inclined to believe me. I called him up and told him I got food poisoning and couldn't come in. His response was, "Don't worry, Jack, get better. My name isn't even Jack. Jesus, how is he the boss?" Well, anyways, now I am off. I was glad I didn't have to leave Astrid alone again. That stress was just too fucking much. For the first few hours in the morning, everything was quiet. Nothing was really going on. In fact, I quickly realized it sucked having no real internet. Everything took too long to load. I started playing some video games, but my ears didn't like it. They wanted to hear it all. So here I am playing some racing game on mute and the doorbell rings. Well, the hairs on my back stand up. Astrid starts barking and going wild, and I just sit there fucking frozen. This frozen thing has been happening too fucking often lately. I was waiting for the doorbell to go off again. I don't have a peephole or anything, so I just waited. Eventually, I heard the distinct sound of the UPS truck starting up and driving away. Honestly, that was the best possible sound I could have heard at that point. Now, usually when I hear that noise, I jump up like a dog thinking he's gonna get a treat as my mind tries to remember what Amazon package I ordered. Well, this shit must be Pavlovian or something because I had the same reaction. Half the way to the door, my brain turns on and reminds me I had no Amazon orders and the weird ones were canceled. I honestly didn't know what to expect, but even what I did expect was nowhere near as insane as what actually arrived at my door. There were 3 packages. 2 were the ones that I thought I had canceled on Amazon. There was the knife, the rope, and even the goddamn diapers. But something threw me off. There was the classic Amazon tape on the package, but Amazon usually tells you your email. This one didn't. It just had my address. Something made me check the knife. My gut had this powerful feeling that something was out of place here. Sure enough, I take a closer look at the knife. Guys, I swear there was fucking blood residue on this goddamn knife. Now I don't have a black light or anything but Jesus fucking Christ, that had to be blood. Then it clicked. My hands had touched the knife. At this point, my brain just shut off. It was thinking so fast, simulating all the possible outcomes and simultaneously trying not to throw up that it just shut off. I just stared at the knife for a solid 10 minutes trying to figure out what was going on. The last package was the strange one. I thought the diapers weirded me out. Oh fuck me, this next one was something fucking else. They were a bunch of pictures of little kids at the playground and shit. This guy sent me his bloodied knife and pictures. It was clear he was trying to frame me or some shit, right? Like, why else send me the knife and the pics? Why the fuck would anyone do any of this? I must have stumbled on the forum, and this fucking nutcase must be trying to frame me. That has to fucking be it. I was fiddling with the lens cap that the police found last night, and I finally took a good enough look at it. The lens cap was a Canon. I have a Canon. Wait, I have a Canon. I ran to my garage, swung that fucker's door open, and searched around for where I had stored my T3i. I don't photograph shit often. It was a gift from my great aunt or something. I kept it in its box, right on the ledge above this old dresser. The box was there, but I had to check if the camera was there. For a few seconds, I couldn't do it. I really didn't want to know the answer because I already did. But I was wrong. The camera was there. I sat down to have a minute to think. So he didn't take my camera and was spying on me. It just didn't make too much sense. How would him spying on me help him frame me? Now, mind you, I am absolute shit at chess and strategy things, so it's not like I was even sure this would be the moves he'd make. I honestly had no idea what a goddamn pedophile would be thinking. How the fuck would I? So then the next test was to see if the lens cap fit. It didn't even occur to me before that my camera was missing its cap. I mindlessly put it back on. It took a few seconds too long for the wires in my brain to piece that one together. So I was right. He did take the camera. I guess right. Jesus fuck, this dude was at my house twice, and Astrid didn't even notice. The camera turns on just fine, and there is an SD card in it. So I went to check the SD card and it was empty. I was confused out of my mind at this point. So I start talking to my dog. Yeah, it's always a good sign when you start legitimately talking to your dog. It wasn't cutesy talk. I was legit trying to ask her for help. God help me. So I did take this one photography class years ago in college for an easy A that wasn't an easy A kind of thing. I do remember my teacher saying something about how every camera has a few distinct pixels, like a fingerprint. So I go over to the pics of these kids and I find where the dead pixels are. I find 10 dead pixels. I flip my camera on and take a shot of my garage. It was too dark, so I took a shot of my house. Lo and behold, the same goddamn 10 pixels. I didn't think my heart could race any faster than that time I downed 3 Red Bulls. I was wrong. Then it fucking hit me. I just took pictures of my house and my garage with the same camera that took pictures of these kids. I am so fucking stupid. I mean, how didn't I see that? Why didn't I see that until after? At this point, I just broke down in tears. Astrid was trying to clean me up and whatnot. She's a good girl, you know. Really there when I need her. I was lost, guys. I wanted to post to Reddit to ask for help, but I could barely compose myself. I was a fucking wreck. I took a deep breath. I can't make any more mistakes. I also slapped myself a few times. My brain needed to fucking work after this. I seriously cannot afford any other mistakes. Whatever is happening, and I need to make it out of this alive and not in prison. I'm sure you guys have realized by this point my brain is not always there for me when I need it. Should I call the police or not? I really sat there and thought about this question for a good hour or so. If I do call the police, will the result be as I expect it, you know? Like, what are they going to do? I am being honest about all of this. I mean, I did call the police last night, so I guess they have a record, but that camera cap was my camera. What if that blood isn't even the guy's blood? What if that's part of the setup too? The police would be more inclined to think I'm lying about all of this. But I don't have a dungeon or a basement or anything like those serial killers and shit have. So I guess I have that going for me. Wait, no, I don't. My great aunt died like 5 years ago. She had no family, so she gave the house to me. I haven't even been there in months. I've been trying to sell it, but no one would buy it. It's out on the island, so that place definitely has a cellar and shit. So I guess that's where the police would think I keep them. My brain ran through these thoughts over and over, like some supercomputer trying to find the probability of getting arrested. My optimistic side was trying to tell me that you did nothing wrong, they'll figure out the truth and that you didn't do it, while my pessimist side was convincing me that they'll figure out your innocence after they've killed you. In the end, I decided that it wasn't a good idea to call the police. Maybe it was just paranoia, but I could not take the chance of being framed for all of this. So what's next? I guess I have to get rid of the evidence, right? So I got a backpack ready and I was going to go out in the forests upstate and just bury this shit somewhere. I would also have to clean the blood, even though the police have it on record that it was there. So I have everything ready and I clean up the blood. I get back inside and I see a cop car down the block. It's just sitting there, but I knew. He must have given them a tip as well. Great, just fucking great. I jump into lightning mode. My adrenaline was going full fucking throttle. I just did not want to go to prison. I did not have enough money for a lawyer, and I had no idea how to get myself out of this mess. I put the knife and rope and shit in my bag and I set the pictures on fire with gasoline. Then they start knocking on the door, loud, real fucking loud, like, I mean business loud. I put on the backpack and Astrid starts going ballistic. I start sweating more and more every second I tell ya. I really could not fathom what was going on. I used to be a firm believer that humans were blind to drastic change. We've been to the moon and have all this tech and humans just look at it like it's nothing. We're really good at fathoming changes, even when we thought it was impossible to get into space. But nah, I couldn't understand this shit. I was shocked and my brain was just going a mile a minute. I try getting Astrid to come, but she won't. I simply cannot leave her alone. I run out the back door and I unlock the doggy door I installed years ago for our backyard. I hop over the fence to my neighbor's yard. He's from Vietnam and has a shit ton of shrubbery, perfect to hide in even if it brings thousands of mosquitoes. I see the police in my house, their flashlights on and Astrid going insane and barking at them. She wouldn't hurt them. She was never trained to harm anything, or at least I keep telling myself that. I just really did not want them hurting my girl. I mean, in case you're wondering, I didn't think what I had done was the best idea. I just honestly could not figure out what the best idea was. But then I had the thought that burying this shit would be burying actual evidence in what looks like a fucking child murder. I couldn't do that. I could not just get rid of evidence that's more fucked up, especially if some kid is hurt or some shit. I knew what I was going to do. I had to find him and call the police. That was the only way I could think they'd believe me in all this shit. Yeah, it's a stupid fucking idea, I'm aware. Just then she squealed. They hurt her. I still can barely write about it. I don't know if she's okay or not. I hope she is. I hope they just impounded her or something. I don't know what the fuck I did in life to deserve this. One little fucking mistake and my life is literally upside fucking down. My dog is hurt and I'm a fucking fugitive on the run from the police. The closest I've ever come to the police before this was a rooftop party. I walked as inconspicuous as I could to the bus, got off a few stops later and called an Uber. I arrived at the town a half hour ago. It is fucking hot as balls out. Mosquitoes are everywhere. I have this old map that I got when I was 12 years old by my dad. It has everything about Long Island on it. Here's to hoping it helps. I start walking to a forest nearby to bury this shit, so I don't need to carry it right now. I have to write down where it is. I mark it on my map. After this is all over and I find this sick bastard, I'll let the police know where the evidence is. But now I'm in the middle of a fucking dark forest. I really wish I'd think things through sometimes. My flashlight batteries are still good. But I gotta tell ya, I swear I heard something. My uncle let me come on a hunt with him once. He told me that a fox sounded a lot like a human scream. Well, then I hope there are foxes in Long Island. I gotta go now, guys. I hope the pics upload. This is some scary fucking shit. I thought I'd just update y'all.